some very wacky stuff here. We'll get more into like what his background is and all that stuff in a second, but why don't you introduce this clip and
yeah, so now apparently I just want to say, in fact, let me bring this open as well. What was this guy's Twitter handle? I think I have it. This guy apparently follows me on Twitter.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I'd never heard of him before. Yep, here it is. Okay, hold up. So I'd never heard of him before.
So the big thing about this guy is he's one of those guys that's like, you got to support smaller creators and independent YouTubers. So that might be why he follows you. That might be part of it, because you're like a smaller YouTuber.
Yeah, I don't.
Like one of his big things.
Now he might have interacted with me at some point, but I don't know. But so
or
this
it might
guy
be a
apparently
hate follow.
follows
Yeah,
me.
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah.
So he's gonna call out the corporatists and expose the establishment shit liberals. So let's watch.
Fuck up Hassan Piker and Kyle Kalinske a little bit.
Let's
So
go.
give me a second here, guys. I'm going to make my case
Oh god,
here.
we have Comrade Misty here, which is one of the most
Yeah, she talked about Assange. There's a clip of her down here. This whole section actually was supposed to be about linking a general strike with freedom of press rights and like journalist rights and stuff like that.
Okay.
And it ended up just being like a Julian Assange circle jerk for like the most part of it.
Of course. I mean, like this is like a greatest hits of like
the greatest hits of the Dum Dum Left. Yeah,
this is really like they got them all in the same place, it seems. But all right, let's start this over and let's listen to what Robert has to say.
Fuck up Hassan Piker and Kyle Kalinske a little bit.
Let's
So
go.
give me a second here, guys. I'm going to make my case here. I'm going to just digress for a second to talk to you guys about what the game is that we're playing here and what we're up against. You have to understand that the oligarchs and capitalism in general is a multi-tentacled organism, that it's going to use its propaganda arm and it's going to use its censorship arm against us at every turn. So we have to understand that that is what we're up against, and we have to fight those two battles. Now, how do we do that, right? They're essentially, their game plan is turning their misinformation and repackaging it as facts. That's the propaganda arm. And then they're going to turn all of our truth tellers and our facts into misinformation.
Oh my god, we have Socialist MMA, which is also one of the Fred Hampton leftist people.
Oh yeah,
that's really good. Hell yes!
Oh my god, I am hyped to have Rob here. Oh my god, yeah. So we're gonna look at a clip from one of his videos later, but like, yeah, apparently Socialist MMA is the one who found this guy and really liked his video and brought him on. Yeah, so like,
I just want to like spoiler or like teaser. Like we got a diss track here. Like
this is the video. There's a video
that's gonna be next up. But like,
there's a video that Nick saw that apparently interested him enough to bring him on. So this guy, so keep going. He's saying that the mainstream media and the establishment's fighting against us, and they're going to turn our facts into misinformation. So he's doing some 1984 shit.
Imagine like Socialist MMA though like sends him a message and like Robert's checking his inbox and it's like, hey, big fan of your music. Do you want to come on to the General Strike Summit?
Big fan of your slam poetry. Yeah.
Succinctly, that's exactly what they're going to do. So we fight both of those battles. How? We have to protect our journalists. That means that we have to protect people like Julian Assange, make sure that he doesn't have anything more done to him, make sure that he doesn't get extradited.
Now, you'll notice that these people never bring up like Chelsea Manning or anything, like,
Not anymore. Not anymore.
Before, maybe, but like now it's just like, who really, it's all about Julian.
It's all team sports. That's the thing. Like Julian Assange is still a hero, and Chelsea Manning is not, cool anymore because what happened? She was on the Intercept podcast a while ago, and I think
and she also did this public
Julian
breakup
Assange
post with Glenn Greenwald.
Or did she said someone like was very irresponsible with like how they handled the information or whatever, or the confidentiality. I don't remember if it was Assange or Greenwald, but
I think it was Greenwald, but it could have been both.
I don't remember who exactly, but she spoke out against someone who they're a fan of, and automatically like they don't talk about her anymore.
Exactly. All right, so let's get deep in. So there's the tentacle monster, like we're in a hentai manga, so let's go.
But beyond that, it means going after people that smear our good journalists, which is why I go out there and body TYT regularly, because they...
the guy, this main character syndrome, it's like, some guy that you've never heard of, I go out there, I body TYT.
Well,
I just
he has like a Fight
slander
Club brand, yeah. So.
oh, it's so
against
good.
Aaron Mate on the Syria OPCW cover-up.
Oh, of
I don't
course.
just go out there and call Jenk a bestiality fiend because he is. I call him a bestiality fiend because he's an idiot who went after a journalist that I can't allow.
As you can tell, big tech is censoring him at this moment.
Yeah,
The
they're throttling
CIA
his
actually
bandwidth. Yeah, I know.
paid like their ISP to like slow it because they're like, whoa, they're watching this. They got the magnifying glass or whatever. They're really into this, so they're like, we got.
They did have a section with Ron Placone where they talked about the telecom companies, so maybe that adds up.
Oh my god! All right, yo, this is like I could do this. I could do another one of these tomorrow. But okay, let's keep going.
Allow anyone to smear. The other battle that we have to make sure we do is we have to eat the propagandists. And if you guys watch my show, that's like my whole entire formula. Is I'm going to prop up and boost the people that are doing great work. But if you're a propagandist, look out. I'm going to teach all of my viewers how to spot your bullshit, and I'm going to eat you alive. And you guys know I made basically my entire YouTube career or whatever. I'm not a careerist, but my entire repertoire is like bodying Kyle Kalinske on bad things. And the reason for that is that he used to be decent, but recently he's gone ultra bad faith actor. And guys, that's also where I draw the line, just to digress for a second. I don't go after people if I disagree with them simply because I disagree with them. I go after them if I think they're bad actors, if I think they're coming to some sort of subject in bad faith. That's
so. But does he ever expound
them
upon like what bad faith means?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I only have 2 minutes 20 seconds on the clip, so I mean, I can only do so much.
So okay, where are we going next? Are we doing the diss track?
I just think it's really funny that he says like these people. It's not just because I disagree with them; it's because they're bad faith actor. While he also talks about like fucking Jenk being like a bestiality artist and like how he bodies them on a regular basis and how they're propagandists and stuff like that. It's like fucking Garfield looking at himself meme. Like
right. So okay, so you did a little deep dive into this guy. Should we like scroll down?
Yeah, so if you click the next tweet,
this one?
This dude had a video. Yeah, this dude had a video on Rockfin saying that he got banned off YouTube for, quote, discussing bodily autonomy, vaccines, and ivermectin.
Of course.
And then he goes on to explain how YouTube is wrong for banning a doctor from talking about vaccines. And as we later find out, he's actually a chiropractor, i.e., not an actual doctor. Now, it is funny because like chiropractors like do actually like engage in pseudoscience for the most part, but like this shit is actually like it goes like even deep. Like chiropractors actually like are known for like peddling like. In combination with the bullshit that they peddle, like they also are like big anti-vaccine activists.
Yeah, they'll like peddle like the herbal supplements they can buy in bulk for 30 cents, but they'll sell you like in capsule form for $10 or whatever.
Mm-hmm. And then the other thing too that I was gonna say is that like it's also really bad because a lot of this like a lot of these guys, especially like the anti-vax types, like subscribe to people on fallacious appeals to authority, where they'll say like I'm a doctor and that's why you should listen to me about vaccines, but like they're not actually like a like a virologist or a doctor that actually works with vaccines. The same thing with COVID. They say that someone is credentialed as a doctor, but they're not actually someone who works with vaccines or diseases or anything like that. It's a really common thing that unfortunately dupes a lot of really gullible people, and this guy's another in a line of series of people who do grift on the same premise, which is something I think is really harmful, and I that's another reason I really think they shouldn't have platformed this guy. But it does get worse. So if you want to go down to the next,
I'm going down. I'm just
Justin
seeing.
Timberlake. Where was it?
Oh
no,
no.
one more. Oh no, wait. I think I actually go up to the last video.
This one?
And then it should be below the picture, I believe. Oh my god.
This one.
Yeah, so the thread continues there. This is a really quick clip if you want to just hear Misty speak for like a second. This is really funny.
And what different tactics can we employ in order to now, like you said, Daryl, be on the offensive and take control of the narrative to drive the narrative as well as the prevailing thought throughout the country?
Doing this right here. what you guys are doing. It's great. Having more of these, not just maybe centered around general strikes, that are around other issues that people care about or that they just want to learn more about. Being able to listen to a multitude of people who have different and varying opinions. Like I've heard people throughout the summit that, they say things and I'm like, I don't really agree with that, but it's still interesting to hear their perspective. So I think having more of these conversations, and Rob, you're absolutely right. And people will try to discourage you. We don't need any more podcasters. We don't, so the dumb podcasters. We need more podcasters. We need more people talking because they can't silence us all. They're going to try. They're really going to try. And when somebody does, I try to do this as often as possible. I hadn't heard that you had been banned or suspended. But if when Franco gets banned, I have him on my show. When Matt Orfala got suspended, I had him on my show. Like we have to have each other's backs. We have to, when Hardlands Media gets dinged all the time, I retweet and I yell at YouTube and I tell them to fix it. We have to do that for everybody. If you see that somebody's been suspended or banned or demonetized, make noise about it. Stand up for them.
Stand up for the anti-vaxxer who got the doctor.
Yeah.
Who got banned from YouTube for saying ivermectin is
Yeah, so I mean, you can mention the fact that she doesn't actually mention why these people got banned or whatever. That's one other thing. I don't necessarily disagree with this in principle. Help other creators whenever you're able to. But the problem is that what they're doing is they're trying to create this network of creators that's going to kind of insulate themselves from the outside world.
Yeah, I mean, when I have YouTube trouble, they don't retweet my stuff. They don't have me on their show.
Selective solidarity. Yeah.
Right. So and that's my and I got into YouTube trouble several times this year. And they would mock me and they would say you deserve it for being a shit lib or whatever because I disagree with them on force the vote. And so that's the thing is they say these grand ideals, but then they don't embody them at all.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's just a big part of it too is just creating this inflated sense of self-importance where not only does doing this help each other to them, but also it's a way that they can fight back against the establishment, which unfortunately, as great as I some independent media channels and stuff like that, there are some people who do really great work. Obviously, I'm a fan of content creators, but we got to be real about this shit. A lot of the time that means that there's really low standards for a lot of these channels, especially the ones that are featured on the Fred Hampton leftists, mainstream media corporations. If you report something wrong or inaccurate, you're going to get fired. You're going to get pushback from people. Mm-hmm. But a lot of these people, they can just report on whatever the fuck they want, and they think that they're doing this great truth-telling thing, but in reality they're not really accountable to anyone, and most of the time they just end up pandering to their audience that already agrees with them in the first place.
Absolutely. They just get really more and more insulated over time, and they do what works when it comes to money. And so
the incentives are all there.
With that being said, though, I do want to get into the diss track because this is good.
Yeah, sure, you might as well. Yeah,
this is really good.
So real quick, let me just introduce this real quick. Yeah, so this is the guy that was talking about how he's going to fuck up Hassan Piker and Kyle Kalinske. He really doesn't like those guys.
This is how he bodies them. He says that he bodies them on a very regular basis, and this is an example of TYT getting bodied.
And it's on his YouTube channel too. So I wanted to correct myself too. Is that this guy does still have a YouTube channel? You can find him.
They probably said he got banned for buzzwords, when in reality he got a copyright claim or one strike or something.
It might have been a strike. It might have been a temporary thing. I know you can get strikes and then you're banned from streaming for a while or something like that. So it might have been something like that.
But they will never go into specifics. They'll just say I got banned so that they can do their tour.
Yeah, and he said he got banned for anti-vax information and stuff like that too. So
all right, so this is track 1 on TYT Gets Bodied. Let's listen.
Hassan, listen closely, buddy. I just want you guys to know that this guy ain't no fucking MC. I know everything he's about to say against we. We are poor. We are fucking bums. Some of us live in trailers with our moms. We don't make millions playing video games. Nah, a big-ass mansion, that ain't part of our aims. You call yourself a socialist, but in capitalism you partook. And we all know, big brother, that there's no such thing as halfway crooks. Hasanabi means big brother, like Orwell's book. Ironic how you sit all day inside with a camera on you, you childish fuck. And like your uncle, I invoke the great name of Michael Brooks, who'd be ashamed of all your rhetorical gobbledygooks. Speaking of jank, how's that pig fucker doing, cuz? Because when we say fuck the pigs, we're actually talking about the fuzz. A general strike is when you watch my live stream, he said, as he Twitch streams all day from his king-size bed. He calls himself a Hun because you're running dick first into the Great Wall. And because of all the steroids, we all know you got no balls. My man must eat almost nothing but protein
that
powder, so much so that his framework's starting to look a lot like Steven Crowder. And pigfucker Jenk couldn't be prouder that you're building those stacks while your takes become dumber and louder. He and Anna get rich from donations. We call that cow tipping, which is different than what Jenk does after work, which is putting his tip in a cow.
What?
Yet ridiculous Anna can't get any attention, even though she's looking like a 30-year-old sow.
What?
When any y'all around billionaire donors, we know you're gonna drop trow and kowtow without lube like your Pramila Jayapal.
What?
Hassan Little Piggy went to Twitch stream. Hassan Little Piggy always stayed home. Hassan Little Piggy had millions, while the rest of us had none. Hassan Little Piggy, now cry wee 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 and go all the way home to your fucking $5 million mansion. Hassan wants to be like the mountain in Game of Thrones, but we, with time, are gonna bring you down to a molehill, Holmes.
Then it stops.
Well, all right.
So to be fair to Socialist MMA, I think that when he watched his video, I think that's the section that he saw where he was like, "Hell yeah, I got to bring this guy." And I think he's a big fan of this guy's bars. So, yeah.
I write diss tracks. Like, he called this a diss track. To me,
He didn't call that a diss track. That's related. That tweet is related to the other thing that he said that I don't know if you want to play on stream, which is the death threat that he made against.
Well, yeah, I won't play that one on stream, but like he says that in this though that he writes diss tracks / joke. So I assume that like this is a diss track though, right?
That's how he's trying. Yeah, exactly. It's all just like a joke. Like that's what he does. Like he just writes diss tracks and stuff like that all the time, which doesn't really make it any less cringe or anything.
Now again, there's so like we can analyze like every line of this diss track, and I do want to make it very clear. This guy follows me on Twitter. Now I don't think I've interacted with them. It's possible I have. Like I just
hit those 3 dots. Get him to unfollow you. Okay?
Yeah. Well, I actually sent him a message before the stream started, and I invited him on my show. So we'll see if he wants to. I'm gonna try to get this guy on.
You're braver than I am. I want to stay as far away from this guy.
No, I want to get deep in. I like getting in deep, and then like it's like did you ever see the movie The Descent? You just go in so deep, and then you discover this other species. That's what I'm looking for. I want to really find what's going on in the heart of this, right? Sure. So this, like, we can analyze every track of this, but to me, the one that stood out the most as being cringy was that he thought that like Michael Brooks, if he were still alive, would agree with him and in any way, right? And then like would spend his time attacking Hassan Piker and the Young Turks. Like that to me is
yeah, it's really disrespectful, and like also it's just like historically like not backed up by the facts of like Michael Brooks's life. Basically Michael Brooks was like really good friends with Anna Kasparian, who's obviously like the producer and host of the Young Turks. And they were such genuine friends that they actually like started a podcast together in order for them to be able to talk and hang out more, actually. And this is what the person who produced that podcast said on one of Ravana's tweets, I think.
Yeah. But it's just like it's fascinating though, because like
people like to invoke his name like all the time.
It's fascinating. I mean, like everything. Like I really hope this guy comes on my show, because I would sit with this guy for 10 hours. I'm down. Like this guy. Like if you like get to the heart of this character, I feel like you will discover so much about like just human psychology,
He'll say some crazy shit that'll get you banned. I'll bet. He'll start like ranting and raving about
we'll see.
You gotta have that kill switch ready. That's all I'm saying.
Right. Now, it's very possible that they will not accept my invitation, though. Like, it is very possible. In fact, I'm gonna.
His videos being like circulated a little bit right now, so he's getting more attention, I think, than he ever expected to have. I don't know if you saw Ryan Grimm's tweet related to that, but I thought he had like a really, really funny. Yeah, you have it pulled up. I thought he had a funnier response to this than even I could have ever thought of. Like, basically, what this guy says is, "Yo, Hassan, squeal like a pig. You want to come fight me? I'll have Rome," who was another guy who was attending the General Strike Summit, "come and kill you and kidnap your family, and we'll make you sign away your house. And here's the kicker: we'll sell it and then set up 5 or 6 homeless shelters." And then Ryan Grimm responds here. Liberalism is so hegemonic that even this guy who says he or somebody else is going to kill Hassan Piker and take his house only plans to sell it to build homeless shelters. Even this deranged self-styled joker can only imagine building a homeless shelter as his answer. This is just like what an amazing.
It
like,
really
is.
I'm going to sell my house so that homeless people have shelters.
Yeah. Honestly, I think Hassan having a $5 million house probably helps the revolution more than building 5 or 6 homeless shelters, which is like even less than a temporary band-aid on like a systemic problem that we have.
But this, these characters,
here.
that really is what it boils down to. Is like it's pure rage, like directed at nothing for the sake of nothing. And it's like, it reminds me of like Magikarp, like, you know, like it's just like they're just flailing. That's all they can do. There's nothing else. Yeah, like. Yeah, there's literally that's their only ability is they flail and they just look stupid and like it's embarrassing, and I hope this guy comes on my show, to be honest. But yeah, so I might cover more clips of this on my show tomorrow. But thank you, High Progressive, for coming on. This is I feel like this is a good episode. Chat room.